So the holiday season's pretty much over. How did you fare at all those family gatherings over the holidays? Nerves can get jangled and folks can be on edge when getting together at those times. But that can be the case any time of year. Our next guest, Moody, is a minister, an author, and motivational speaker who's an advisor on relationships ranging from friends to family, significant others, and co-workers. We say good morning to Pastor Van. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming in to see us today.
Thank you for having me.
Could have had you before the holidays to talk about all this relationship stuff, but this is something that affects us throughout the year.
Very much so.
Yeah, you've got a brand new book out, just out on Tuesday, and you tell me it's doing really well, The People Factor.
The People Factor. Yeah, the book is doing great, and the book's central premise is that there's no such thing as a neutral relationship. That every relationship you have, whether it's in the workplace or even personal, affects you in some way, shape, or form. It either propels you forward, or if it's the wrong relationship, it will hold you back and keep you tethered to mediocrity for really the rest of your life almost. And so it's important then that people understand how to do relationships better. That's the central premise of the book. I'm really excited about it.
And it's all relationships, because a lot of times people don't even try anymore, whether it's a friendship or a more intimate relationship like a significant other or a marriage.
Very much so. And one of the things that I talk about a lot in the book is the importance of raising what I call your relational IQ. Because what I've learned is that, number one, no one teaches us how to do relationships. We can study at great universities and attain a great success in life, and a lot of times our undoing will be our ability to do relationships well. There's been so many issues, whether it's Ted Haggard, whether it's Tiger Woods, whether it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, in the world and in so many different areas of life. What we've seen is you can be the most talented, you can be the most gifted person, but if you don't know how to handle relationships well, they will be problematic for your career, for your future. This happens at home. Cornell University has suggested that in 2013 alone, there were going to be around 1 million divorces. But then also, startling statistics suggest that nearly 60 to 80% of issues in the workplace have nothing to do with gifting or talent, but have everything to do with relationships and really people's inability to handle them well.
And everybody's got to kind of work at that from both sides.
Very much so. I talk about that in the book, that every healthy relationship requires certain laws and principles that people understand and that they live by. And that's why that notion of raising your relational IQ is better, because that will help you to really master a lot of the pitfalls of relationships, but then to understand how to identify which ones are healthy, which ones are toxic, but then also how to maintain good relationships and how to handle them yourselves so that you can add value to the relationships you're in and be really a critical part of maintaining the healthy relationships that you already have.
I guess probably where we need to start is with ourselves. You have to be yourself to be in a good relationship, because if you're trying to be somebody else, it's all going to come out in the wash somewhere.
Yeah, in the very first chapter of the book, that's one of the things I talk about. It's called the law of being real, because you are the common denominator in every relationship you have. And what's interesting is that every ophthalmologist will tell you, whether or not you have to wear corrective lenses like I do or not, that regardless of your vision, all of us have blind spots. And what often happens in a relationship is, first of all, we don't adequately know who we are, or we haven't adequately seen ourselves. We look through kind of a gendered kind of perspective about who we are. And so the first thing that you've got to do is do an adequate assessment of who you are. Am I a person of integrity? What are my core issues? What are my core values? But then you've also got to bring a trusted person, and that's the key. Someone that really loves you, cares about you, has your best interests at heart. You got to bring them into that process so that they can help you point out your blind spots and say, well, you may think that you're a little bit better at this, but truthfully, this is how you appear, this is how you come off. And once you do that adequate assessment, then you can really bring your true self into every relationship. Because I found that a lot of people don't know who they are. We say one thing, but then we also present something totally different in a relationship that we have with others, and that's problematic.
Kind of have to be introspective,
Very
so to speak, look at the man in the mirror and try to be the person we want to be in order to attract the kind of people we want in our lives.
Very much so. And then that's critical, because you are really the sum total of your values. And so if you don't have a good handle on who am I at my core, what are the non-negotiables of my life? What are the things that drive my life, whether it's family values, whether it's faith values, a perspective about family and children? If you're unable to do that effectively, you will never be able to assess whether the people you're in relationship with or not are healthy, whether you ought to continue the relationship, or even a potential new individual. Should I even engage them? You'll never be able to do that without understanding understanding those core issues about you.
Right. And relationships have to be allowed to unfold. You can't rush a relationship of any type.
Yeah, that's one of the chapters that's really near and dear to my heart. I call it, well, it's several things that I deal with, but the most important thing for people to understand is that relationships take time. They're a journey. We live in a microwave society and everybody wants things overnight. But healthy relationships have to cook in what's called a crock pot, meaning that they have to simmer, they take time. You're not going to get to know an individual overnight, and that's critical because we live in this social media age where relationships and friendships often a click away. But you got to take the time to follow the journey that every relationship will go through, and every relationship will go through on this journey critical areas. And so as you endure challenges and difficulties, embrace it. And understand that it's a part of the process to develop a healthy relationship.
There's so much more to learn, and you have actually a companion way to learn that goes along with your book.
Yes. Right now we're doing a 30-day devotional, video devotional on my website, vanmoody.com. Celebrities, business leaders, entrepreneurs, individuals from all walks of life are chiming in. People have read the book. Like I had a conversation yesterday with Ruben Studdard. That's on the blog. And so Eve Wright, the vice president of the Miami Heat, and so many others are part of that process, and we're dialoguing about it. It's a great place for people to go out to. It's vanmoody.com. It's on the blog part.
And the book has only been out since Tuesday, and it's already skyrocketing to the top of the charts.
Yes, we're excited about that.
Pastor Van, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
I will work on my relationship here so that we become friends. Cool. I'm not going to push it, though.
Not a problem.
Van Moody's new book is called The People Factor, and it's available now.